The sound of glass shattering cuts through the mansion like a gunshot, a sharp crack. Then silence. A priceless face explodes against the marble floor, pieces sliding across the room like broken time. For one frozen second, no one moves. Not the nurses, not the guards, not even the millionaire himself. And then the scream comes from upstairs. Raw, cracked, terrified. A scream that does not recognize wealth, or power, or the man standing below it. Help me, his mother cries. Please, I don't know where I am. The millionaire's chest tightens as he stares at the shattered vase, as if it somehow explains everything. Doctors had promised stability. Specialists flown in from 3 countries had promised progress. Caretakers with perfect resumes had promised calm. But every single day, his mother grew worse. Her memory slipped like water through his hands. Her strength faded. Her eyes, once sharp and proud, now filled with fear when they landed on his face. Love had turned into suspicion. Familiar voices into threats. And the house that once felt like a kingdom now felt like a hospital waiting room where hope came. To die, he rushes up the stairs, anger and panic colliding in his chest. The hallway smells like medicine and lemon cleaner. To coal. He finds his mother sitting on the bed, breathing fast, her hands shaking as if the room itself were attacking her. A nurse tries to calm her. Another reaches for medication. Too fast. Too loud. Don't touch me, she screams, slapping the pills away. They scatter across the floor. You're not my son. You're lying. You all are. The words hit him harder than any insult he's ever heard in a boardroom. He has survived hostile takeovers, public scandals, and enemies who wanted him ruined. None of that prepared him for this. For his own mother, looking at him like a stranger, like a threat. Enough, he snaps. His voice echoes, sharp and commanding. The same voice that moves markets and silences rooms. You said this wouldn't happen? You promised me she was stable. The nurse stutters, apologizes. Spence uses words like progressive and unpredictable. Excuses dressed as science. Get out, he says suddenly. The room goes still. I said get out, he repeats, pointing to the door. You're done here. Another nurse fired. Another expert gone. Another person blamed for something money couldn't fix. Downstairs, the house feels heavier. Like it's watching him fail. He paces the living room, stepping around the broken vase now swept into a neat pile by someone who works quietly in the background. Someone, no one notices. In the corner stands the cleaning lady. A black woman in a faded uniform that's been washed too many times. Her shoes are plain, practical. Her hair pulled back, neat and simple. Her hands are folded in front of her, fingers rough from years of work. She keeps her eyes low, not out of fear, but habit. She has learned when to be invisible. She has seen this before. The anger, the confusion, the slow loss that feels cruel because the body stays while the person fades. She has watched families fight, time, and lose. Watched rich people panic because they finally meet something they cannot buy away. She has cleaned rooms where hope died, quietly, and rooms where it screamed. But no one ever asks her what she sees. The millionaire rubs his face. Exhausted, his anger boiling over. This is impossible, he mutters. I've done everything. Everything. He turns suddenly, eyes wild, searching for someone to blame. The staff freezes, and then his gaze lands on her. The cleaning lady, standing there, watching. Another witness to his failure. For a brief moment, he considers it. Fire in her too, clearing the house of every reminder that things are falling apart. Control, that's what he needs. Control always worked before. What are you still doing here? He snaps. She lifts her head slowly. Her eyes meet his. Calm, steady, not challenging, not afraid. I'm finishing my work, she says quietly. Something about her voice unsettles him. Not the words, the tone. It isn't rushed. It isn't shaken. It doesn't bend. Upstairs, his mother screams again. The sound cuts through them. Bo, she wasn't like this, he says. More to himself than to her. She was strong. She ran companies. She raised me alone. She never forgot anything. The cleaning lady nods once. A small movement. She understands. She still hears. She says softly. Even when she doesn't understand. He scoffs. You don't know that? She pauses. Chooses her words carefully. I've seen this illness before. That makes him turn fully toward her. And I know what calms it. The sentence hangs in the air. Simple, quiet, dangerous. The room goes silent. Even the staff stops breathing. A cleaning lady, speaking advice, crossing an invisible line. His instinct is to shut it down. To remind her who she is and who he is, to put her back in her place. Power demands distance. But something in him hesitates. He looks at her uniform, her hands, her face. There is no hunger there. No attempt to impress, just certainty. Lived certainty. You clean floors? He says coldly. That's your job. Yes, she replies. No argument. No apology. But I've also watched people forget their own names. I've watched fear turn into anger, and I've watched what makes it worse. He laughs bitterly. Doctors with degrees can't help her, but you can. I didn't say I could fix her, she says. I said, I know what calms her. Upstairs, another crash. A lamp this time, his mother shouting, confused, crying like a child lost in a crowd. His jaw tightens, his hands shake. The truth sinks in. He is losing her, and all his power is useless. What? Do you know? He asks, almost against his will. The staff exchange looks shocked. This man never asks. He commands. The cleaning lady meets his eyes again. Fear makes it worse. Loud voices make it worse. Being treated like a problem makes it worse. Her words are not fancy. They don't sound like medicine. They sound like truth. He swallows. The house feels different now. Smaller. Like the walls. Are listening, and what makes it better? He asks. She glances toward the stairs toward his mother. Being treated like she's still here. Silence stretches between them. Heavy. Uncomfortable. For the first time in months, the millionaire doesn't shout, doesn't fire anyone, doesn't reach for his phone to call another expert. He just stands there, listening. And in that moment, power shifts, quietly from money to humanity, from authority to experience. From a man who owns everything, to a woman everyone ignored. Upstairs. The screaming softens into sobbing. And the house waits, holding its breath, as a story no one expected begins to turn. The millionaire laughs. Not because it's funny. Because he's tired. Because disbelief is easier than hope. The sound comes out sharp and bitter, like air forced through a crack. He shakes his head and looks away from her, already done with. The conversation in his mind. A cleaning lady. In his house? Speaking like she belongs in the room where decisions are made. You've seen this illness, he repeats, almost mocking, right? He straightens his jacket, the armor he wears when things feel out of control. Listen, he says, voice clipped, impatient. I appreciate the concern, but stick to your job. Floors, dust, bathrooms. That's it. The words are clean, simple, sharp, designed to put her back where he believes she belongs. She doesn't argue, doesn't apologize, doesn't shrink. She nods once, the way someone nods when they've heard the same thing their whole life. The sting is there, but it doesn't show. Her dignity is practiced. Built slowly, over years of being overlooked, talked over, dismissed before she even opens her mouth. Yes, sir, she says, and yet, she doesn't leave. She picks up her cart and moves quietly through the house, but her eyes are always working, always watching. She notices the way the mother flinches when a tray clatters too loudly, the way her hands start to shake when the overhead lights are too bright, the way her breathing turns shallow when too many people crowd her space. Small things, invisible things, the kind of details that never make it into medical charts. No, one notices the cleaning lady pulling the curtains halfway closed to soften the light. No one stops her when she lowers the volume of the television that's been playing nonstop news. No one says anything when she moves slower in the room, her steps soft, her presence calm. She hums sometimes, barely audible, old gospel songs that feel like warmth instead of noise. The nurses notice, though they always notice. One rolls her eyes when the cleaning lady adjusts the lamp. Another smirks when she sees her pause by the bed a second too long. Careful, one whispers, not even bothering to lower her voice. You don't want to get ideas above your station. The cleaning lady says nothing. She has learned when silence is safer than truth. Upstairs, the mother thrashes and cries. It's not sudden, it's not a miracle, just a slight change. Fewer screams, less panic, more moments where her eyes don't dart around the room like trapped birds. No one connects it to anything. They chalk it up to chance. Or medication. Or luck that night. Something happens no one can explain. The mother sleeps. Not a restless sleep, filled with shouting and fear. Real sleep? The kind where breathing evens out and the body lets go. The kind that doesn't require restraints or sedatives or whispered apologies in the hallway. The millionaire wakes up to silence. At first, it scares him. Silence has become unfamiliar. He rushes upstairs, heart racing, expecting the worst. But when he opens the bedroom door, he freezes. His mother is asleep. Her face looks softer. Younger somehow? Like the woman he remembers from childhood, not the frightened stranger she's become. He stands there for a long time, afraid to move. Afraid to break the spell? The nurse shrugs, confused. She just settled, she says. He doesn't ask how. The next morning, the cleaning lady hums while she works. The same tune she's been humming all week. Low, gentle, A song from long before this house, before this job, before the weight of being invisible. As she wipes the dresser, she hears it, a sound dot. At first, she thinks she imagined it. Then it comes again, soft, fragile. Off-key, the mother is humming back. Her lips barely move. Her eyes stay closed. But the sound is real. The room feels like it stops breathing. The nurse stares. The cleaning lady's hands freeze mid-air. No one speaks. No one dares. For a moment, the illness loosens its grip, just enough to remind them there is still a person inside. The cleaning lady swallows and keeps humming, afraid that stopping will break whatever fragile bridge has formed. The mother hums for a few seconds more. Then she drifts back into quiet dot. Small, but it's everything. Later that afternoon, the millionaire hears about it. Not the humming. The other thing, he hears that the cleaning lady has been in his mother's room. Touching things, adjusting lights, changing the environment without permission. The anger comes fast, hot, familiar. He storms down the hallway, power walking like he's headed into a hostile meeting. He finds her near the stairs, pushing her cart. What do you think you're doing? He snaps. She stops, turns to face him. I was cleaning. She says. You were interfering, he says, voice rising. No one told you to touch anything. In that room, no one told you to be involved. I didn't interfere, she says quietly. Yes, you did, he barks. You overstepped, and I will not have staff freelancing with my mother's care. Do you understand me? The house feels tense again. Staff watch from doorways. No one steps in. I could fire you right now, he adds. She looks at him. Really looks at him? Sees the fear under the anger, the desperation under the control. I know, she says. That disarms him. Just a little. I'm not treating her like a patient, she continues, her voice steady. I'm treating her like a person. The words land hard. He doesn't expect them. He expects excuses, apologies, tears, gutters. Instead, he gets truth. She's not broken, the cleaning lady says. She's scared, and everyone keeps reminding her she's sick. He opens his mouth to argue, to shut this down. But nothing comes out. For a long moment, they stand there. A man who owns everything. A woman who cleans it. And between them, a truth no amount of money has been able to buy. Upstairs, the mother stirs, murmurs something soft. Almost a song. The millionaire looks away first. His chest tight. His certainty cracks. He doesn't fire her, but he doesn't thank her either. He just walks away, leaving the tension hanging in the air, unanswered, unresolved. And as the cleaning lady resumes her work, the house seems to lean toward her, as if listening, because for the first time, someone no one respected might be changing everything. The truth comes out when the house is supposed to be asleep. It's past midnight. The kind of late where even the walls feel tired. The millionaire lies in bed, staring at the ceiling, eyes open, mind racing. Sleep won't come. It hasn't for weeks. Every time he closes his eyes, he hears his mother screaming his name like it belongs to someone else. He turns, checks his phone, then turns again. Finally, he gives up. He slips out of bed and walks into the hallway. Barefoot? The mansion. It is quiet, but not peaceful. Too much space. Too many shadows. As he passes his mother's room, he hears it singing, soft, uneven, not polished. Just human. He stops cold. For a second, he thinks he's imagining it. Grief can do that. Stress too. But then he hears it again. A low hum, turning into words. Old words, familiar in a way he can't place. His heart pounds as he pushes the door open. Inside, the lights are low, warm. Not the harsh white glow the nurses insist on. The cleaning lady sits beside the bed, her back straight but relaxed. One hand gently holds his mother's. The other rests on the mattress, steady. She's the one singing, barely louder than a whisper. And his mother is awake, not threshing, not crying, awake. Her eyes are open, clear in a way he hasn't seen in months. They aren't darting around the room. They're focused. Present, she turns her head slightly and whispers a name from long ago. The Millionaire's? Breath kept. That name hasn't crossed her lips in years. Not since before the illness swallowed her memories piece by piece. It's the name of her sister, the one she grew up with, the one she lost. What is going on? He demands, his voice cutting through the room. The cleaning lady freezes. Slowly, she turns to face him. She doesn't let go of his mother's hand. You shouldn't be here, he says, anger rushing in to cover his fear. Explain this. Now, his mother blinks, confused. By his tone, the moment threatens to break. She's calm. The cleaning lady says gently, please don't raise your voice. That does it. He steps closer, towering over her. Who do you think you are? He snaps. You've been warned. You have no authority here. None. The mother stirs, her grip tightening slightly around the cleaning lady's fingers. I asked for an explanation. He says again, sharper, now. The cleaning lady takes a breath, a long one. When she speaks, her voice is steady, but something has changed. The careful distance is gone. You want to know? She says. Fine. She slowly stands, but she doesn't pull away from the bed. She stays close to his mother, like a shield. Years ago, I was a nurse. She begins. The words land heavy. He frowns. A nurse. Yes, she says. A good one. She tells him about the hospitals that never had enough staff, about broken equipment and crowded rooms, about patients treated like problems instead of people. She talks about working double shifts, about holding hands because there weren't enough meds, about learning how to read fear in someone's eyes before it turned into panic. I worked. Memory care, she says. Alzheimer's, dementia, all of it. He feels something shift under his feet. Then why are you here? He asks. Her jaw tightens. Because I got tired of watching people die like they didn't matter. She tells him about her mother, how she cared for her at home, how the system failed them, how doctors rushed in and out, how no one listened when she said something was wrong, how her mother died in her arms while alarms rang and no one came. They said she was just another case. The cleaning lady says quietly, I quit that day. Silence fills the room. No plaques, she continues. No certificates on walls. Just what I've lived, what I've lost. She looks at his mother. Medicine helps the body slow down. But dignity helps the soul stay. He looks at his mother again. At the cum on her face. Hot, the way her breathing is slowed. At the way she hasn't recoiled from touch. She remembers songs. The cleaning lady says. She remembers how it feels to be safe. Routine matters. Respect matters. Touch matters. The millionaire's throat tightens. He doesn't know what to say. Every expert he hired talked about treatment plans and time. No one talked about dignity. I wasn't fixing her, the cleaning lady says. I was reminding her she's still here. His mother turns her head then. Looks at him. Really looks? Baby, she says softly. The word hits him like a punch. He drops to his knees without realizing it. Tears blur his vision. Yes, he whispers. It's me. She smiles. Just a little. The smile he remembers from childhood. You always worry too much. She murmurs. She calls him by his childhood nickname, the one no one has used in decades. He breaks. The tears come hard, loud, uncontrolled. He presses his forehead to the bed, shaking. All the power he's built means nothing in this moment. All the money, all the control. None of it saved him from this pain. The cleaning lady steps back, giving him space, but her presence remains. Grounded, steady. The next morning, the house feels different. The sun rises soft through the curtains. His mother is awake, calm. When he enters the room, she looks at him and smiles again. Just for a moment. Long enough to matter. Sit, she tells him. He does. Like a child, she pats his hand. You did good, she says. He can't speak. He just nods. Later, in the hallway, he finds the cleaning lady. She's pushing her cart, ready to start another day of being unseen. I owe you an apology, he says. She stops, waits. I didn't see you, he admits. I didn't want to. She looks at him then. Really looks. Most people don't, she says. Powwow doesn't change hands with shouting. It doesn't change with force. It changes when someone finally listens. And as the millionaire watches the woman he once dismissed walk away, he understands something for the first time. The greatest healing in his house didn't come from money. It came from humanity. The apology doesn't happen behind closed doors. It doesn't happen in a quiet hallway or a private office where pride can be protected. It happens in the open, in the living room, with staff watching, with silence thick enough to feel. The millionaire stands there, hands at his sides, shoulders tight. The same man who once barked orders without looking up now clears his throat like he's unsure of his own voice. The cleaning lady stands across from him, her cart beside her, her posture.com. She's used to eyes on her, used to being judged. This feels different. I was wrong, he says. The words fall heavy. Some of the nurses look away, others freeze. No one speaks. I underestimated you, he continues. I disrespected you, and because of that, I almost missed what mattered most. He turns to her fully, meets her eyes. I'm sorry. For a moment, no one breathes. He offers her more than words. He offers money, a raise that could change her life overnight. A title, authority, control over the care team, the kind of offer people dream about. She listens. Then she shakes her head. I'll take the responsibility, she says, but not the praise. He blinks. I don't need to be worshipped, she adds. I need to be respected. Something in his chest loosens. He nods. Then it's done. The house begins to change after that. Not loudly, not all at once, but in the way real change always happens. Slowly, intentionally. Nurses are retrained. Not just on charts and meds, but on tone, on patience, on how to enter a room without making it feel like an invasion. Voices soften. Schedules slow down. Routines become steady instead of rushed. Lights are adjusted. Music returns. Touch is no longer treated like a risk, but like a bridge. The mother doesn't magically recover. There are still hard days. Confused. Moments. Tears that come without warning. But there is also laughter now. Soft laughter. Moments where she hums to herself. Nights where she sleeps without fear gripping her chest. She is calmer, more present. She feels seen. And the man who once believed power came from control learned something he never learned in boardrooms or battles. He learns to sit, to listen. Twady learns that strength doesn't always speak first. He starts spending more time in his mother's room. Not on his phone, not pacing, just sitting. Holding her hand, listening when she talks about memories that don't always make sense. Letting her be who she is, not who she used to be. The cleaning lady becomes the quiet center of the house. Not above anyone, not below anyone, just steady. When staff get tense, they look to her. When the mother grows anxious, she calms. Respect moves through the house like fresh air. Months pass. One afternoon, the millionaire calls a meeting. Not at the mansion. Somewhere neutral. Somewhere public. He stands at the front of the room and announces something no one expects. He's funding a care center. Not a wing. Not a donation, with his name carved in stone. A full center. Built from the ground up. Designed for people like his mother. People who are often forgotten. People whose voices fade while their bodies remain. He names it after the cleaning lady. Not because she asked. Because, he insists, this isn't charity, he says. It's justice. The center opens with quiet dignity. No grand speeches. No cameras flashing. Just families walking in and feeling something different right away. Calm/warmth. Respect. Staff who listen. Care. Led by humanity, not hierarchy. The cleaning lady oversees training. She teaches what no textbook ever did. How to see people. How to slow down. How to understand that dignity is not optional. On her last day at the mansion, she finishes her work like she always has. Thorough, careful. She removes her gloves and places them neatly on the cart. She stands in the living room for a moment. Looking around, the house no longer feels heavy. It feels lived in. The Billier finds her there. I don't know how to thank you, he says. She smiles. Small, kind, tired in a good way. Next time, she says, don't wait until desperation to see people. They share a quiet moment. No speeches. No promises. Just understanding. She walks out the door the same way she walked in months ago. Without applause, without ceremony, but the world she leaves behind is changed. The story doesn't end with wealth. It ends with wisdom. Because the greatest mistake Pal makes is thinking it knows best. And the greatest healing begins the moment humility decides to listen.